Brandon here from GameTrailers. I'm joined by Andrea. Renee, how are you doing?
I'm good, Brandon. I am a little tired because it's day 2 of PAX, and you have 2 more days.
Yeah, we're gonna be here for a couple more days. You are taking off tomorrow. I mean, it is. You can kind of sense how crazy it is here at PAX. It is Saturday. It's the busiest day. You said it was the busiest day. I thought it was just crazy the whole time. There's so much to talk about. It is very noisy, which reminds me of Rock Band and Guitar Hero, games that are also very noisy. I just played Guitar Hero. They made sure to crank the volume all the way up as loud as it would go. And you know, you're a big fan of Rock Band. You're a big fan of music games, and you know, both of these games are coming out in October. They're like 3 weeks apart, and so you know, you came up with a great idea of you know, these games are going to battle, and we don't necessarily have to decide a winner, but I think people are really curious that haven't necessarily got their hands on it about what is the difference between these two games. So I just want to start with Guitar Hero and go through what I'm really excited about, and that's Guitar Hero TV. That's like they have this 24-hour streaming station that runs through the game that plays music videos that I haven't seen in decades, that is constantly playing, and so you can be challenging people around the world. They just mentioned earlier, which I actually hadn't asked them, which is that it knows your difficulty level and it pairs you up with people that they think, you know, are around your level of skill at the game. And you can jump in, jump out. There's no failing, you know, so you play when you want. And it sounds like the perfect mode for a party because you just constantly have music playing on in the background. You can pick a channel to your liking, and then it's just always going. You can jump in, jump out whenever you want. So how much of that have you gotten to try out?
So I also got some hands-on time with Guitar Hero TV, GHTV as they're calling it, here at PAX Prime. And I love the music videos as well. I was pretty skeptical when I first heard this concept of playing over the music video, but I thought it was really neat that they've added little touches like pulling the highway down off the screen when you're not playing the guitar part, so you can actually just watch the music video until the guitar part comes back in. I thought that was nice. I like how you can have a second player playing with you. I mean, their score isn't counting against, you know, the multiplayer aspect of GHTV, so that's also a nice feature. However, I'm still interested to see how they're going to balance their in-game economy. So the way that GHTV works is there's going to be 2 channels of content at launch. One channel is going to be like a dedicated like brand or genre of music, and then the other channel is going to have all these different kinds of shows. And the catalog that's in GHTV is separate from the main campaign of Guitar Hero Live, which is important to know. So I asked, as somebody who's a score hero, like, I need to practice these songs, where can I do that? And they're like, you just have to keep playing them when they come up. But if you do want to play a song on demand, you can spend credits, kind of like playing a song in a jukebox, right? So you earn these credits by playing stuff in the live playlist. And I said, well, you know, like, how would I earn more credits? And they said, well, you can always buy more credits with real money. Right. So, okay, like the microtransaction flag went up, and I was like, oh no, I was asking all these questions, but it sounds like they're balancing it right in that you can just keep playing in the live playlist and keep earning more credits. So if there's like one song that you just want to keep playing over and over and over again, you can do that, but they really want to encourage you to play the programming that they're putting on the TV, which was great.
And it's really tough to tell with a currency in a game when you're demoing it. You know, you can read it. You can read it on a piece of paper, and you can kind of like wrap your head around it and see, you know, graphically how it's presented in the game. But until you spend $5 on it, or until you know, work as hard as it takes to earn the same amount of currency, you're really not going to know. So I think that's one of the big questions that we're going to have, even going into the launch of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't know the balancing of the microtransaction system yet, but I think it's important to know that GHTV is completely separate from the Guitar Hero campaign, and they have openly said that they are launching with more songs in Guitar Hero Live than they've launched with ever before in a Guitar Hero game, and they're planning to keep adding music and adding music videos to GHTV, which I'm excited to see like what's going to come, you know, down the road.
So this kooky controller, so they've taken, so you got 10 buttons on Rock Band, you got 5 on top, 5 near, you know, near the base of the guitar, and then with this you got 6, 3 on top of 3 are labeled black, 3 are labeled white. And I mean, this just like splits my brain in half whenever I play it. I think the one that I told him was that like whenever there's a black and a white note on the same like track or like in the same line, I just skip it. I'm like, I can't, it's not gonna happen. I'm not, you know, because it's not even just hitting that one thing. You kind of get off when you're on a train, and then it just messes up the next like 20 seconds of the song. Exactly. So how do you, did you enjoy that being difficult and new, you know, as opposed, you know, to something like Rock Band that feels very familiar?
So as an expert level player, when I was doing, no, I think it's important to know, like in the Guitar Hero days of old, I was always playing on expert level because I love music and rhythm games, and I think what's really great about what Activision is doing with Guitar Hero Live is they're appealing to people like me, and to people like me who really crave something new and different in the music and rhythm space. When I first played this, I got angry. I was like, this is hard, I don't like this, I want to do something the way that I already know. But then I remembered today, while I spent some more time playing, I was like, hey, when I picked up Guitar Hero for the very first time, the jump from 3 buttons to 4 buttons was really hard. And the jump from 4 buttons to 5 buttons like blew my mind, right? And trying to do all these different combinations, it takes a lot of practice. And we just haven't had enough time yet with the game to really get into that. But I got to try some expert level tracks and also watch some of the developers play. I mean, and like the ability to shred once you learn it is really exciting. And I think that to me is the appeal of Guitar Hero Live. Yes, you have to relearn it, but you know what? It's a challenge, and I think really like high-level players are looking for that challenge, and Guitar Hero is bringing it for them.
And I think, you know, different people have different shaped hands, you know, like one size doesn't necessarily fits all. And so I think with that, you know, like it's more like your brain has to do the contortions and not necessarily your fingers. So
you gotta learn it all over again, which is I think part of the excitement. It's not gonna be for everybody. Some people are gonna be like, hey, I've already learned this thing, I don't want to relearn it. But I think for music fans, it does mimic the way your fingers move on the, you know, the strings much more than the colored buttons do.
One example is you'll see like the half of an Oreo cookie. You'll see like the white and the black on the same note, and that's right. And that means you have to hold down both buttons at the same time, which is something that you would do on a guitar and something that's not represented in Rock Band. So it is a mix. I'm actually curious what the song crossover is going to be between the two games, because I'd love to like play the same song in Rock Band 4 and in Guitar Hero, you know, and Guitar Hero Live, and see kind of like what on like an expert level, and see, you know, what was maybe potentially more gratifying or what sections were more difficult, you know, depending on each game.
Yeah.
So now is there anything else you want to mention Guitar Hero before we move on to Rock Band?
Just that it was really exciting in a way that I wasn't ready for. I came into it like having played it only one time before, really expecting to not be blown away by what I saw, and I was like refreshingly like happy walking out of that room going, I think they've grabbed me. I think I'm excited about this again. Like I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours in the Guitar Hero franchise, so really pumped about it. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to music library, and if they're going to be able to keep supporting that, you know, multiplayer leaderboard they have with GHTV. But I encourage people, if you can go to an event and try to play it, like you should give it a go and give it like a couple of songs, and you got to warm back into it. So.
Today was my 4th time playing Guitar Hero Live, and I was just finally starting to get it. I went up from regular to advanced, and then experts beyond that. It's like advanced is like, okay, this will take me a couple weeks. One last thing, what about the weird video? So they got, and which is just. Which is not in Guitar Hero Live, or Guitar Hero TV, sorry. You play Guitar Hero TV, you get these awesome music videos, you can watch, you know, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Higher Ground, you know, and stuff like that. But if you play the single player, the regular, you know, like, you know, progressive mode where you're going through and you have this crowd in the background, a lot of people were really nervous about it and thought it was weird. You know, they're like, I'm going and seeing these bands over and over again that I don't know. But when I'm at the level that I'm at now, like really trying to get good at this game, I don't really notice it. You know, it's always kind of like in the background. And one thing that I noticed that kind of cracked me up today was we weren't doing that good. And the only thing that kind of popped out from behind the highway, which I was like staring intently at, was one guy in the band who was like, come on, man. And so it's kind of fun, like hearing, I was like, oh, I guess I'm not doing well. Okay, I need to pick up.
Well, really interesting about the FMV, I also asked the development team about it and be like, hey, it's kind of controversial. People don't know how they feel about it. And I learned that they have choreographed the band movements in FMV to all of the highway notes for each individual song. So what I said was, like, is it going to be distracting? Are people even going to pay attention? And they said, well, we made what's happening on screen match up with what's happening in the song at that particular time down the highway. So during busier sections, there's not much going on. During slower sections, you know, like there'll be more action with your bandmates. And at some points, if you're not playing, they'll even pull the highway away so you can just watch the crowd. And I thought that was really cool.
And like when you're doing well, like I do kind of get a kick of like looking away from the highway and seeing people like rocking out. Like I do dig it. So Rock Band.
Yes.
It seems like a totally different ball game. I mean, these games are very different now. Rock Band, you know, is coming back, and I think, you know, whereas a lot of the new additions that they're bringing to Guitar Hero are very controversial, I think one of the big questions that people have is like, this seems like the old Rock Band. You know, it just seems kind of like the continuation of Rock Band that we would have gotten so many years ago. What do you think the team really wants to stress as far as like, this is new, this is unique about Rock Band this year?
Every time I've talked to the Harmonix team or the Mad Catz team about Rock Band, they keep stressing fun. We want the game to be fun, we want people to have fun while they're playing, we want people to remember that camaraderie, that party experience. Clearly the gameplay isn't changing that much. It's at base level, it's identical. But they have added a couple of things. They've added the guitar solo mode, which I got to spend more time with. Wouldn't you think a tutorial for guitar solo mode would make you play better? So I finally did the tutorial, and I got it now, because I was a little skeptical about it at first. And the ability to do drum fills and the vocal fills that they've done with those, I mean, it's a different experience than Guitar Hero. I think what's awesome about Rock Band, and what I'm looking forward to as a big Rock Band player as well, is being able to go to some of my old songs that I love to play and play them again and have like a fresh coat of paint on them, right? Because like the build that we saw here was much more polished than the one we saw at E3. It looks really good. You can tell that they're ramping up close to, launch time. And I think that's what people who love Rock Band love. And I think that's the key difference between Guitar Hero Live and Rock Band is for people who want that same like nostalgic experience, but like polished and new and with new songs. Guitar Hero is maybe for music and rhythm fans who are looking for something new and different and something that's going to challenge them. Not to say that like expert level tracks in Rock Band 4 aren't going to challenge you, because they will.
Yeah.
Especially with the new guitar solo mode techniques that you need to learn. But I think what Guitar Hero is doing is just so dramatically different from what they did previously.
I think it's great that you brought up the guitar solo, because that's something that you can't get at all in Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero is very technical. You have to learn this very specific part of the song, and like it is fun, just like rocking out and just like goofing off in that one mode. And it is interesting. Like when I first heard it, I thought it was going to be just a complete freestyle thing. It's like just whatever. We're not going to score you on it. There's no restrictions. But like there's very specific sections. You have to do a very specific thing. It is forgiving in a sound sense. It's not going to sound like cacophony if you do it wrong. But like there is a way to get more points in that mode. And yeah, I really did. I haven't played that mode specifically since E3, but I really did enjoy it. What songs? I mean, what were some of your favorite bands or songs to play in when you used to play Rock Band?
Well, I mean, I love Muse. That's more Guitar Hero than for Rock Band for me. For Rock Band, I like a lot of the classic stuff, like Rolling Stones, stuff like that. It's hard for me to pick something out. You're putting me on the spot right here. But
well, do you have a group? Like, do you have? Because it's all new equipment. It doesn't matter if you're investing back in Rock Band 4 or if you're gonna play Guitar Hero Live. It's all new stuff. You can't. None of the old songs will work in Rock Band, but the old equipment won't work in either game. Correct?
No, I mean a lot of the old equipment works for Rock Band.
So where's Rock Band? But they do have new stuff.
Yes.
But they because you were talking about the guys at Mad Cats, who you're familiar with, and they were talking about all new stuff. Like the star power works a lot better in the guitar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The like flux actuators or whatever thing Alex Very said to me, like something that was super jargony. And I'm like, I personally am going to get all of the new instruments because my old instruments have been worn down. Like the buttons are squeaky and sticky. Like we don't need that. And besides, getting new stuff is always fun. I think that people have made investments in some of these peripherals, and it's really great that the Harmonix team and the Mad Cats team care about that and are listening to their community saying, hey, we get it. You bought all of these guitars, maybe you bought these special drum kits. We're going to try to support as many as possible. And they're working with some of the other third-party people who made instruments to try to make sure that maybe post-launch they can add even more support, which I think is great because it is an investment, especially when you're porting your entire catalog. I mean, some people have dumped hundreds of dollars into buying DLC for that, and I think it's really awesome to see a developer take that into consideration and say, hey, we appreciate the investment that you made in us, and we're gonna do right by that.
It's funny, I really wanted to pick like a winner. Like we brought up the idea for this video. I really but I mean, you want for the viewers at home, you want to have a bloodbath. You want to know like 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. But I mean, I'm really excited about both of them. I'm really glad they're coming out in the same month. I'm really glad we're getting this revitalization of the music genre. I cannot wait to stream these games. I think that's like the one thing, just as a journalist, that I'm most excited about is like setting up streams. Will we get to see you be streaming any of these games online?
Well, I hope so. If you guys follow me on Twitter at all, you know that I'm a huge music fan, and I love both of these games. I've dumped so many hours into both of them, so I will definitely be playing them both as well. And we can rock out together sometime.
Yes, and thank you for dumping all those hours so you can expertly, express your opinions about Rock Band and Guitar Hero. And they're both coming out in October, so stay tuned for GT for reviews of both games. See you later.